Hey everyone, today we're going to be working on number 8, System Notes, Converting Equations to Standard Form. Well, first we need to start with standard form. If you're going to write in standard form, you are having your ax plus by equals c. What that really just means is anything, that a is just a number, but anything with an x has to be first, and anything with a y comes second. And then my c value is just any number. So that's just your constant, and that's going to come after the equal sign. And you have to have it in standard form to move on to our eliminating. I think we eliminated yesterday, and if it's not in standard form, you cannot eliminate. So we're going to practice putting things in standard form right now. Okay, so let's look at number 1. If I know my x has to, let's erase that. If I know my x has to be on the left-hand side of the equal sign, right now my x is already there, but my y also has to be on the left-hand side. So see, if I put that red line down in your notes box in standard form, you have your ax plus your by and then your c on the right-hand side of that red line. So we're going to do that same thing here. If my 4y is right now on the right side and I want to move it to the left side, I'm going to have to subtract 4y. If I subtract 4y on my right side, I also have to subtract 4y on my left side. Okay, if I'm going to put it in standard form, my x always comes first. So because I had a 3x, I'm going to keep that. I have a minus 4y, and I'm going to say equals. These are gone, so the only thing left on that other side is 9. So that's in standard form because I have my x on my left side, and I also have my y on my left side. Okay, so let's look at number 2. We're going to do the same thing. So when I look at number 2, I want my x and my y on my left side. Right now, I see my y is on my right side. So in order, right now, if you don't have a number in front, there's really a 1 in front, and it's a positive 1y. So to get rid of that positive 1y, I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to say minus 1y, and if I subtract 1y on my right, I have to subtract 1y on my left. Okay, now we're going to think about our standard form. Our standard form always starts with our x first. So my 5x is going to come first, and then it has my y, so it's a minus 1y, and then I still have this minus 2, and I'm going to just say equals. There's nothing on that other side, which makes it a 0. You can write your 0 in, but you don't really have to. Okay, when I look at my sides, I need my x and I also need my y. I have both of those, but I don't have my constant on the other side. So I need to get rid of that minus 2, and the opposite of getting rid of minus 2 is adding 2. So I'm going to add 2 right here, and if I add 2 on that side, I'm going to add 2 on this side. So I have 5x minus y. And you can say minus 1y or minus y. Those are the same thing. Equals, and then you have nothing plus 2, which is just going to leave you a 2. So now when I look at that, I have my x on my left side, and I also have my y on my right side. My left side. And then the only thing that's left on my right side is that constant, and that's how we want it. Okay, so let's look at number 3. Okay, so here is my line of my equals. So I'm going to look. Do I have my x on my left side, and does it come first? Yes. Do I have my y on my left side, and does it come second? Yes. And then do I have just my constant or just my number on my right side? Yeah, I do. So we don't have to do any work for that one. That one is already set up. So let's look at number 4. Okay, so I'm going to have a left side and a left side and a right side. So I'm going to go ahead and put my line down the middle there. Okay, I know my x has to be on my left side. Right now, it's a positive 2x. And if I wanted to just look at this and not like show all of my work, I could show minus 2x and minus 2x. But right now, on the right side, it's a positive 2x. So if I were to move it on the left side, it's going to become a negative 2x. My y is already on the right or on the left side. It's going to stay on the left side, so it's going to be plus y because it's positive. Equals, if I don't have anything over there, I'm going to say equals 0. You can't just have an equals empty. When we did number what number was that? Number 2. We didn't really have to put anything there. I could have put that 0 plus 2. But if it's your final answer and you're not going to be adding anything to it, you have to show that that's a 0. Okay, so now I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to say, here's my x, here's my y. They're both on my left side, so I know that that one's good. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Okay, let's think of that same thing we thought of before. So we don't have to show all of our work. You can show all of your work, but you don't have to. Okay, right now, when I look at my x, it says negative x. If I'm going to move my negative x to the other side, it's going to become a positive x. So I'm just going to move it over here with a positive x. Okay, when I look at my y, right now, it's a 5y, and it doesn't say it's a negative in front of it, so that one has to be a positive. So if it's a positive 5y right now, and I move it to my left side, it's going to become the opposite. So now it's going to become a negative 5y. I'm going to keep my equals, and now I'm looking at that 8. Right now it's a positive 8, and it's on the left side, so if I move it to the other side, it's going to be a negative 8. Okay, so we can do this without showing each step, just with our thinking and changing the signs from positive to negative, depending, or negative to positive, depending on where we're moving it. So let's look at number 6. Okay, so here is my equals, and I know I want my x and my y on the left side. I have my y on the left side, so that's great, but my x is on the other side. Right now it's a positive 2x because I see that plus in front of it. So I want to move that positive 2x over to the left side. So right now it's a positive 2, so moving it to the left makes it a negative 2. So I'm out front, I'm going to say negative 2x. My y is already there. It doesn't have a negative in front, which means it's a positive 6y. My equal stays in the middle. That negative 9 is on the side it needs to be on, so it's just going to stay a negative 9. So now I'm going to look, do I have my x? Sure do. And do I have my y? I sure do. And then my constant is on the other side all by itself. So this would be your standard form. This is a super fast note sheet, and that is all you're doing on this assignment today.